What has winter done to your home? We can fix that and make your house the newest looking house in your neighborhood. At Minnesota Exteriors, we install windows and siding all winter long. Call for a free in-home estimate, 763-762-8066, or visit minnesotaexteriors.com. You love your neighborhood, but when it's your house that needs help, call the local pros for windows, siding, roofing, or gutters. At Minnesota Exteriors, we've been improving homes and neighborhoods since 1947. Call today for a free in-home estimate, 763-762-8064, or visit minnesotaexteriors.com. Storm damage? Locally owned Minnesota Exteriors helps from claim through completion. For windows, siding, roofing, and gutters, call 763-493-5500 or visit minnesotaexteriors.com.
Puramaze is a patented gene system that we've incorporated into a couple of different products that Blue River sells that has the ability to reduce GMO contamination in Puramaze hybrid fields so that the farmer can harvest GMO-free grain with a much higher assurance than you can in normal situations in the United States. The Puramaze system is a gene complex. It's not a single gene, and it's a gene system. It doesn't work by blocking pollen flow or stopping pollen flow. It doesn't really have any effect on pollen flow. But what it does do is, as pollen flows into a field of Puramaze plants, the silks that are in those plants do not readily accept any pollen that doesn't contain the Puramaze trait in it. So it blocks non-Puramaze, which, since Puramaze has not been put into anything that's GMO, you essentially block GMO pollen from contaminating your field of non-GMO corn, or in this case, Puramaze non-GMO corn. In our data, it would suggest in an overwhelming number of cases, the pollen tube from the Puramaze pollen grain will achieve fertilization, and the pollen tube from the contaminatory pollen will not.
Spear insecticides target the nerve cells of insects, which in turn are associated with specific muscle cells. In the absence of stimulation, the nerve cell is inactive. It is said to be quiescent. There are specific pores called channels in the membranes of these nerve cells that are open or closed to the transport of specific ions. In the quiescent cell, these channels are closed, keeping the ions on the outside of the cell. In this state, the nerve cells do not act to cause the contraction of the associated muscle cell. When these nerve cells receive stimulation, the channels open up, permitting the ions to enter the cell, awakening it. This in turn causes the associated muscle cell to contract.
A new installation doesn't have to be a major event. It takes less time and is less involved than you might imagine. We'll walk you through the major steps so you'll know what to expect during the installation. Usually, you'll hire a professional installer for this work. This will ensure a smooth outcome in a new or replacement situation. This scene is typical of how your cold locker walk-in unit will arrive at your location. The installer will unpackage the panels, evaporator, compressor, and provided hardware. Complete instructions are included in each shipped unit, so this video should not be considered a complete source of installation instructions.